Alright guys, so today I thought I would make a video about my cooking abilities, or lack thereof cooking abilities. So one of the things that I ran into as an issue here was the complete inability to make any food that I used to make back home. Some of the ingredients that I would normally get aren't readily available here, or they just don't have them. A couple of the things that I ran into, they don't have onion powder, or if they do have it, I just haven't located it, and it's something that I use a lot of when I cook. So today I'm going to be making chicken noodle soup, and I kind of already pre-cut some stuff so that this isn't the longest video ever, but one of the things that's a major comfort food for me is chicken noodle soup. And yeah, I thought I would just kind of film a cute little video of me trying to make it. So one of the biggest things that I've run into here is the option of having fresh ingredients. I usually use fresh thyme and fresh sage, and I have a really hard time kind of finding that stuff here. Which, I mean, isn't the worst thing in the world to use dry product. I just prefer, I don't know, I guess because when I'm usually making my chicken noodle soup, somebody is not feeling well, or you know, it's that cold time where people are starting to get a little sick. So I usually like to use fresh ingredients just to make sure that you're kind of getting all of the super duper benefits that they give you. So my soup is really simple. It's onion, tomato, celery, sage, thyme, and just your your salt and your pepper. Back home I used to use Swanson's chicken broth, but because they do not have that here, I have resorted to picking up this here, which works really well to make my own stock. I enjoy it. I just miss kind of not having to do that because we can't drink the water out of the tap here, so we have to buy bottled water. And one of the most difficult things about that is I have to use 6 bottles of water to make my soup, because I know that boiling the water tends to help it, but I don't like to use the boiled water just in case, so I end up using half of our 12-pack of water just to make this soup. So just some basic things that I've run into issue-wise. I did buy pre-packaged carrots that were already, excuse me, my nose is running for some reason, I think it's the onion. I bought pre-packaged carrots that were vacuum sealed, and I thought that they were going to be super good and last a long time, but unfortunately they were already soft, I guess a parboil, I don't know. And with the soup I couldn't put them in there because they would have just immediately dissolved into nothing. So I have to get carrots. They are on the way, hopefully back to me. Yeah, so basically what I do is I pre-chop everything. I just try to get everything ready, get it all out of the way, because I can't stand having to do ingredient by ingredient. I like to just have everything chopped and ready to go directly into the pot. So carrots are here. I already chopped them up and put them in. I didn't need this many. The carrots here are huge. This is just one small piece of that carrot. The carrots were huge. Usually at home I use baby carrots, and because they cook a little faster and they're easier to just super duper chop through. But so yeah, something is stuck to my foot. Yeah, so I said I would show you guys, so I shall show you. So let me get my spoon. It's gonna get steamy in here. This is what it looks like. I usually just let it simmer for an hour with the whole chicken breast in there, so. I'm terrible at putting this in view. Yep, just like that. I also tend to, oh, my whole hand was in that shot. I'm the worst at this. I grab the lid and I put the lid on it, and again my hand is going to be in the shot. Apologies. I try to keep it as low as possible because I don't like to, I said, have that chicken come out like rubber. So, lid on pot. I ran away. And I just keep my stirrer nearby. I do all of my dishes as I go too. I have no dishes in my sink. I like to just cook and then come right down and just eat it. Also, fun fact, there's a little clip in here of me dancing with Doritos, but they have Doritos here, although they say these are like hot corn, but they're not hot corn at all. They're not even a little bit spicy. Let down. Yeah, so I thought for a second I might chit chat about some of the things that I do find here that I've like, I couldn't get back in the States and I fell in love with. So if I open my handy dandy pantry, these, I'm a big soup person. You're gonna realize that I really, really like soup. Probably should broaden my food horizons. But yeah, these guys, wait for that to focus. I don't know if you can get them in America. I just know that I found them here and I don't remember ever seeing them in the States. And these are so delicious. Also, fun fact, they like don't have like breadcrumbs. Like I used to get like 4C Italian breadcrumbs whenever I would make my chicken. They don't have breadcrumbs here. So I buy these. And I put them in a little Ziploc bag and then we crush them up and then I add like a bunch of spices and stuff to it to make my breadcrumbs. There's been a lot of improvisation going on here. Another thing that I have had back in the US, but it was like homemade, it wasn't like this. I'm so short. Oh god. Are these beans that we get and they're really, really yummy. They're like these giant, I don't know what kind of bean. I'm not like a bean connoisseur, but they're huge. They're like this big each, and they're covered in this like delicious red sauce. Yeah, it's so funny. It actually doesn't even, it just says baked giant beans. Like even they weren't like down to let you know what kind of bean was in here. Yeah, and then when I got here, I was like really on the hunt to find like comfort food like ramen and like just soups and like any kind of like pasta dishes and stuff. So I bought a lot of different soups. And one of the things that I think is pretty shocking about Greece is that you can find like Knorr products, which I used to get back home and I would cook like their like side noodles and stuff, and this is like a big brand here. A lot of people use it. Another thing that's pretty funny is, oh my gosh, I almost just brought that crashing down. Barilla pasta. They have Barilla pasta. Boy, I'm too short for this. I'm the one who put all this stuff in the cabinet too, so I don't have anybody to blame but me for this whole having to reach for things. Lay's potato chips. And yeah, here we go. Here's a cool little tidbit. It's like a cherry-filled croissant that's pre-packaged, like in a bag. I've never seen a croissant come in a bag. Also, which makes me giggle every time I see it, it has a 32% cherry filling, which is like funny. Like if it had been 30, I may not have bought it. Yeah. And head over to my favorite discovery here because your girl loves cookies. Okay. Butter cookies. Butter cookies. These are literally my favorite cookies back home. I like any like light colored cookie. That's a really weird thing to say. I don't like chocolate that much. I really enjoy like cream cheese cookies or butter cookies or like white chocolate macadamia nut, to be extremely specific. That's my favorite cookie in the entire world. And then they have like really cool things like this. So this is honey, and it's got, I'm actually gonna show you this side. It's got walnuts in it. And what they do is like they scoop it out and they put it on top of like their yogurt, and it's really good honey. It's really yummy. We actually have a couple different variations of Greek honey. Come on, focus. There we go. So that's really cool. Like most of the honey that you find here is their own bees, which is really cool. Like if you drive around here, you can see off of cliffs and stuff, they have beehives, their own beehives and stuff. So, which like you got to be brazen to do that kind of stuff, because I do not mess with bees, honey. Nope. So yeah, other than that, that is just some of the stuff that I found and I loved in Greece. I'm gonna let this cook for about an hour, and then when it's all done, I will show you guys how beautiful it looks in a bowl. Alright guys, thanks. Alright, so I am back. It is done. This is what it looks like. I always put pepper on it because it's yummy. And yeah, I am all done. I think it came out really good. It usually does, not to toot my own horn. And yeah, so I am all done that excursion of making my soup. Thank you guys for coming along with me while I completely destroyed my kitchen. And yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy this as much as I enjoy it. I'm gonna go eat this stuff now because I am starving and it smells great. See you guys next time. Bye.